Continental Cablevision presents the high school game of the week. Tonight, the CIF playoffs continue as the Redlands Terriers take on the Loyola Cubs. Good evening, along with Kurt Goldstein, I'm Mark Proval. We're here at Glendale High School for this quarterfinal matchup. Both teams come into this ballgame scorching hot, and the winners of last week advanced.
Winners of 5 in a row, Loyola definitely comes into this one a hot football team. Last week they used a relentless offense and a suffocating defense to subdue a bigger but undermanned Lakewood team. Khalil McAlpin rushed for over 100 yards in that one, and Kevin Delamico added a big spark at fullback as well as his usual outstanding job at linebacker. This week Loyola knows they're going to have to do a good job against the vaunted Redlands team. They're very quick.
Redlands defeated Mater Dei last week 39-29. The ball game was tied midway through the fourth when 2 Mater Dei turnovers led to a Redland victory. The Terriers employ the run-oriented wing T offense. They kept the ball on the ground 75% of the time. The key to their victory last week, however, was the fact that their offense didn't turn the ball over once. The Redland offense is a fine team, and they should have a good game tonight.
The wing T is a difficult offense to defend against, especially when it's run as well as the Terriers do it. Loyola knows they're going to have to be very disciplined on defense tonight if they want to be successful. The secondary and the linebackers are going to have to do a good job of staying home, or Redlands will run all over them.
If the Terriers can control the ball on the ground, they can keep the Cub offense off the field. To beat Loyola tonight, the Terriers will have to continue to put points on the board because it remains to be seen whether or not they can stop the great Loyola offense machine.
Well, that machine is averaging over 30 points a game this season, but Redlands is averaging close to 30 as well, so should be a lot of excitement.
Both teams are well coached, well disciplined. Should be a great game. We're looking forward to bringing it to you right after this. This game is being brought to you by Eck Insurance Agency, representing the Travelers Company. For all your insurance needs, contact Jim McCanany, 837-8577. And also by John T. Malloy Incorporated, a general engineering contractor. Give them a call at 464-2705. All right, we're just minutes away from kickoff to open up the quarterfinals of CIF. Here come the Cubs onto the field, the defending Delray League champs, poised and ready for a possible another championship this year.
Well, Mark, we know about that disappointing loss last year in the semifinals. Hoping they can rectify that situation and pull out a victory here to move on once again to the semis. Got a tough task, though. They're facing those Redlands Terriers.
And the Terriers are definitely a hot team. They've won 6 in a row. Their offense is really in gear. They finished the year 9-2, and that comes off of a really disappointing last year. They finished 3-7. They changed coaches. They have a first-year coach, Mike Churchill. Churchill won the Big 5 crown in 1984 with Riverside Poly. The Redland Terriers play in the tough Citrus Belt League. They finished 2nd in that powerful division.
Well, that's a mighty division. They have number 1 Fontana, the only team that Redlands finished behind, and number 1 in the CIF, that is, going 11-0 this season. Actually, 4 teams from the Citrus Belt League made it into the playoffs, and they're still alive, all of them, and we're in the quarterfinals, so half of the teams in the playoffs from that league.
But they're facing a tough Loyola team. They're a fine coach team. They're well versed in both offense and defense. They play the game very solid. They don't make a lot of mental mistakes. They're a great team.
Speaking of mistakes, Redlands, they know that tonight, to be successful, they can't really make any mistakes. You mentioned it at the top. They didn't make any turnovers last week against Mater Dei, and that was a very big factor for them.
So here are the Terriers, once again winners of 6 in a row. They finished last year with a dismal 3-7 record. They regrouped, they got things together, they started believing in themselves. Coach Mike Churchill had a lot to do with that. He's got a lot of experience. Once again, he's won a championship already. He knows what it takes to win in the playoffs.
These guys are going to be fired up. Churchill, like you said, he's been there, and according to him, this is a close bunch of players, close-knit group, and they've been through the good and the bad. There you see Steve Grady, the coach of Loyola. unbelievable record throughout his career at 14 years at Loyola. 119, 35, and 4. Looking to add on to that tonight. The only thing that's eluded him has been that CIF crown. He's been to the semis twice, but was knocked out both times.
This year he's got a great group of players, no superstars, just a lot of hard-working, hard-dedicated individuals who just want to get the job done. That's what it takes to win a championship. So Loyola won the toss, but they elected to defer. They'll kick the ball away. They'll receive it in the second half. We'll get to see the Terriers and their explosive wing T offense. We'll explain more about that when they receive the ball.
John Stonehouse, he'll kick off for Loyola. Both teams very fired up before this ball game. We're in the quarterfinals.
It's getting awfully exciting. Playoff atmosphere again. Sean Collins and Marcus Rogers back to receive for the Terriers. Stonehouse with the duties. And we're underway. That's Collins, lets the ball bounce into the end zone, touchback. Terriers will take over on their own 20.
Well, Mark, as you see the Terriers come out on offense, they're going to be running that wing T, orchestrated by quarterback Julian Barola. We'll see what he can do tonight. Doesn't throw the ball much, but he does a great job of running it, getting it into the running back's hands.
And they're off quick, an inside handoff, not a whole lot of running room. So right away, the Terriers come out running the ball. The man to keep your eye on tonight, you'll see a lot of guys carrying the ball for the Terriers, but the one to really watch is number 30, Mike Dragna, who's coming off of a huge game against Mater Dei last week.
That's right, Mark. He had 5 touchdowns in that game a week ago and 217 yards. He's really revved it up for these playoffs.
So Barola brings him out, the big quarterback. Motion, you'll see a lot of that tonight. There's an inside handoff. Rogers stuffed by the Wolfpack defense.
That was Delamico, the co-MVP of the Delray League this year, as awarded a week ago. He and Khalil McAlpin were given that honor, and he makes a big tackle here early.
Well, you'll be hearing Delamico's name a lot tonight. He's the leader of the Wolfpack defense. He's all over the field. Aggressive, a big hitter. A lot of fun to watch him play.
We should see him at fullback tonight as well.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 8. Barola on a counter inside, nowhere again. The Cubs hold.
That was Brian Kanya on the carry. Not much running room, and the Wolfpack defense looks fired up here early.
So 3 plays and out for Redlands. No gain on the play, 4th and 8, forcing them to punt.
4th and 9 now.
Barola also does the punting duties.
Corby Smith and Khalil McAlpin back for the Cubs.
Smith will receive it at his own 40, looking for a block, can't get one. He's tackled around the 42-yard line. That's where the Cubs will take over.
That was Robert Wise on the tackle there. Smith didn't pick up much. Good coverage by the Terriers. And we'll see the Cubs on offense for the first time tonight.
And if you know Loyola football, you know what the Cub offense is all about. They love to run McAlpin, Delamico behind that huge offensive line anchored by Yarrow, Justin Yarrow. Everybody's all everything this year. 1st and 10 for Loyola. McAlpin, Delamico in the backfield. Costin in motion. Smith will give it to Delamico. Churning forward, not a lot of room.
Delamico is a very determined runner when he has that football. Hard to bring down. He's not a tremendously big guy, but very strong.
Delamico last week was a little dinged. He hurt his ankle in practice, but it didn't affect his play last week. He feels fine this week. Not good news for Redlands. 2nd and 4 for Loyola. Dennis bringing them out. Backs are split. Costin in motion. Miscountered. McAlpin, a lot of running room. He'll have a 1st down. All the way up to the 42-yard line into Terrier territory.
That's Loyola football at its finest, running that ball. McAlpin taking up right where he left off last week, had over 100 yards against the Lakewood Lancers, 3 touchdowns in that game, and he looks prime tonight.
Well, the key for the Terriers stopping Loyola's ground attack is their 2 inside linebackers. They're not very big. In fact, they only weigh 150 and 140. They'll be hard to to stop Delamico and McAlpin tonight. 1st and 10 for the Cubs. Ball at the 42-yard line. There's a counter inside give to McAlpin. He'll pick up about 2. Nice defense by the Terriers.
Well, Loyola, talking to their coaching staff before the game, said we weren't going to see too much of a change in their game plan. Offensively, that is. We were curious if they were going to go to the air because Redlands has had a little trouble defending against the pass this year, but it wasn't mentioned to be in their game plan. We'll just have to see.
Backs are split. Love to the left. Costin in motion. Dennis fakes it. He'll keep it. Nice block. He's got a lot of running room past the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Loyola!
Unbelievable early here. Dennis, we saw that play last week, worked very effectively. It has all season for him. Tremendous run to opening drive here for Loyola, and they're on the board very quickly, as we've seen them do in every game this year.
So Brian Dennis, using his running ability, broke a couple of tackles. That was a 40-yard sprint to the end zone for him. The Cubs are up early.
Here's Harmon on for the extra point.
And it's good. So the Cubs score on their first possession of the game. Third play, Dennis goes 40 yards. The Cubs are up early in the CIF quarterfinals, 7-0.
Well, the Terriers, they don't want to get behind. Redlands is hoping it'll be a high-scoring game, though, so I don't think they're too worried about being down 7 points. They can put the points up in a hurry, and we'll just have to see what they can do against this Wolfpack defense.
Great run by Dennis, almost matching the one he had last week. He's playing real well.
It's almost like having 3 running backs in that backfield. Dennis can move as well as any of them. He displayed that ability on that last run.
Once again, Collins and Rogers back to receive the Stonehouse kick. So the Cubs jump out early, 7-0. We're in the first quarter. Low line drive kick. Collins lets it go into the end zone. Once again, the Terriers will start at their own 20.
Well, a key for the Terriers with their wing T offense is they don't have much size. They've got to use their quickness against this Loyola team. Loyola only give up about 10 points a game in the last 17 years under defensive coordinator Coach Dawson. This year they're only giving up about 8 a game, so points are tough to come by.
That's Rogers on the handoff.
Looked like
tripped up.
Looked like that was Josh Goodell in the backfield there who tripped him up.
So lightning strikes early for the Cubs. Once again, Dennis on a 40-yard run, putting Loyola up 7-0. Just under 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Cubs come out quickly. Terriers trying to match him. 2nd and 9. Barola back to pass looking, has got his man. Big tackle. That was Julian Okana.
Okana, something Terriers don't normally do, throw that football. Though Barola does have good statistics this year. He's completed 52% of his passes and over 900 yards passing as well, with 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So he can throw that football if they need to.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Backs are split behind Barola. Inside handoff. It looks like he's short of the first down. The Wolfpack defense holds.
That was Delamico and John Cochran both in on that tackle.
That'll bring up 4th and 1 from the 30. Coach Mike Churchill of the Terriers elects not to go for it early in the first. So the Wolfpack defense holds once again.
First 2 possessions, no first downs yet for the Terriers, but they're a very disciplined group. They don't make many mistakes, so you keep giving them chances, they'll eventually break through.
High snap, Barola comes down with it and gets the kick away. Smith fading back to his 25, and he's buried there.
Looks like early they're keeping those kicks away from Khalil McAlpin. We know what he can do with football. We've seen him score many points, and obvious strategy here, keep that football away from him.
6:28 remaining in the first quarter. The Cubs up early, 7-0. Looking to tack on some more of that great ground attack that they have. Dennis, backs are split behind him. Down the line, the pitch to McAlpin. He's looking to throw, and he's sacked.
He was buried there by Sean Williams, and Colin Nance didn't fool anybody. It was a trick play there for Loyola, and they were all over it.
McAlpin was looking to throw to Sean Costin, who was downfield. So a little change-up thrown in by Grady.
Here you can see the replay. McAlpin rolling out after the pitch. Williams and Nance all over him.
So a loss of 5 on that play, bringing up 2nd and 15. Costin will go in motion. Backs are split. Dennis gives to Delamico a big hole, but it closes quickly. He's down about the 27-yard line.
Good job of reading that play there by the Terriers. It was Jimmy Muniz in on the tackle. Not much for Loyola. They'll need about 12 yards for a first down.
Once again, Muniz, the small inside linebacker, making the stop on that play. He's going to be a key for the Terriers tonight, how well he plays that run. 3rd and 12. Dennis's first passing situation. Costin goes in motion. Dennis is back to pass, looking over the middle, throwing, dropped.
Well,
and there's a flag down on the play.
Dennis had a lot of time on that play. Apparently none of his receivers were open downfield. He finally found Costin, but it was in and out of his hands. We'll see what the flag's all about, though.
Costin got tangled up with a linebacker. Let's see what happens. And that's the call, pass interference against the Terriers. So
looks like the refs were all over that call. Costin.
All right, we have defensive pass interference, be a first down.
Anyway, it was pass interference. Loyola will get the first down. Costin tangled up with one of the Terrier defenders, and Loyola's driving again.
So the first break goes Loyola's way. 1st and 10, ball just outside the 40-yard line. Backs are split behind Dennis. He gives to McAlpin. He's got some running room. He's past the 40, the 35, the 30. One man to beat. Wrestled out of bounds. The 22-yard line. McAlpin, a big run.
That was Chad Golob who finally ran him out of bounds. McAlpin getting loose for a big one here early. So far, he and Dennis have had huge runs for the Cubs, and you can't let those guys get loose if you want to win. Here's McAlpin.
Huge hole to run through.
He found that hole and just jolted through it. Finally brought down there by Golob, and Loyola's ready to score again.
1st and 10, 22-yard line. Handoff to Delamico, up the gut. Churns up about 4.
You could just see how strong Delamico was on that carry. Was met at the line of scrimmage and looked like he carried one of the Terrier tacklers a couple of yards.
You know, Kirk, I'm really surprised. We've seen Delamico play 4 ball games this year, and I can't believe the man is not flooded with offers from colleges around the country. He's just a fine, solid football player all around.
He's one of the best high school football players you'll ever see.
Costin goes in motion. Delamico, the fullback. Yaboa up the middle, his first carry, looking for that first down. It's close to it.
Yaboa, another ball carrier for the Cubs who's been hot lately. Sort of surprised that he wasn't in the starting backfield, but when you look at Delamico, they love him on defense, but they understand his importance in the offensive backfield as well.
So Yaboa did pick up the first down. Cubs are marching. They're just outside the Terriers' 10-yard line, 1st and 10. They can get a first down without scoring. Costin goes in motion. Backs are in the eye behind Dennis. He pitches to McAlpin, looking for some running room. Keogh down to about the 5-yard line.
McAlpin picking up some yardage on that play. 5 carries for over 50 yards so far in this ball game. He's just doing what he's done all season long, a leader for this Wolfpack team.
So So the Wolfpack offense marching down the field. 3:10 in the first quarter. 2nd and 4.
Terriers have to make a stand here.
Dennis calling signals. Backs are split behind him. Double wide receivers on the left. Dennis coming down the line looking to pitch the ball. He will. It's not fumbled, but Delamico recovers the loose ball.
That was just a bad pitch there by Dennis. Left it short for Delamico. Maybe he thought he was going to cut inside a little more. Never happened, but Delamico did a good job of picking up the loose ball. Here you can see Dennis gets pressure, dishes it off, and Delamico with quick feet jumps on that football, and Loyola retains possession. You know, the Terriers have done a good job this year of making a lot of things go their way. They give up a lot of yardage on defense, but they have a nose for that big play.
3rd and 9. McAlpin in motion. Dennis back to pass. He's hit as he throws. The ball's loose, and the Terriers have it.
Just what I was talking about. Those big plays, the Terriers somehow seem to make them happen. Dennis jolted from the blind side on that play, and Redlands going to take over that football. That'll give them an emotional lift here early.
Sean Williams recovered the fumble for Redlands, so they hold.
That was something here we can see coming in on a blitz there. Jarring that ball loose was Redlands, and like you said, Williams recovered.
Up the middle, a big run, all the way down to the 44-yard line. That was
Yesnek.
Gary Yesnek, who was questionable for this ball game. He had arthroscopic knee surgery just 4 weeks ago, but the captain, Yesnek, is in the ball game, and he had a big scamper just then.
That's got to be a big lift for these Terriers, knowing they've got their captain in the football game. You said it was questionable, but look at him. He's suited up, and he's playing well.
1st and 10 to Barola. Handoff, Rogers around the left end. Got about 3 on the play. So a big emotional swing here late in the first quarter. The Terriers recovering a fumble forced by a sack and a big run.
Similar to something that happened last week in the Terrier game. Mater Dei driving in the 4th quarter, looking like they were going to go up, but they fumbled the ball away, and the rest was history as far as the Terriers were concerned.
These Terriers, led by Barola, 2nd and 8. Barola on a play action, being pressured. He sets up and throws, looking for Rogers deep. Broken up nicely, Sean Cardenas.
Cardenas, textbook job of coverage there on that long bomb by the Terriers.
Barola took some lick as he was hit.
Barola, you can see here, does a good job of not going down. That was Delamico in on the blitz. Cardenas almost with an interception, hit him right in the numbers, but he couldn't hold on to it.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Terriers. They're 0-2 on 3rd down conversions so far. This is a big play, trying to sustain some momentum. 3rd and 8, just outside the 45-yard line. Barola back to pass on a rollout, looking, throws short, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
The intended receiver on that was Chris Lonsford. He's the top receiver on this Terrier football team, but Barola left it a little bit short for him, and they're going to have to punt the ball.
So Loyola's defense holds. A minute left in the first quarter of the quarterfinals of the CIF playoffs. 7-0 Loyola. Barola once again his 3rd punt of the evening early. A short kick off the side of his foot. Nice roll for them. And they'll down it at about the 28-yard line. That's where the Cubs offense will take over.
Well, Redlands will take that kick. They got a good roll there in their favor, and the Cubs will take over once again.
Big crowd out here at Glendale High School. Nice evening for football.
A lot of people out here from Redlands tonight.
Oh, they brought everybody from Redlands, it seems. So 1st and 10 for Loyola. Backs in the eye, McAlpin deep. He'll take the handoff. Round left end. Not a whole lot of running room there. First time they really clamped down on McAlpin.
Terrier defense, like we said, a small group, very quick though. They do a good job of making the big plays. Like they've already made one tonight. They'll give up that yardage, but when it gets to the nitty-gritty, they usually come through.
2nd and 8 for Loyola. Sean Williams, the man on the Redlands Terriers defensive line who really makes things happen. Well, that'll be the end of the first quarter. Loyola jumping out quickly on a Brian Dennis 40-yard touchdown run. They'll lead 7-0 going into the second quarter.
Terriers gonna have to play some more good defense here. Get that football back. They don't want to stay off the board too long. They average a lot of points, and we thought going in that they'd have to score a lot of points in order to win this game.
Well, so far they haven't done a very good job of containing the Loyola offense. The Cubs kind of stopped themselves on that turnover down deep in Terrier territory. They have 2nd and 8.
Well, we haven't really seen Loyola go to the air yet. They've thrown one pass. There was a pass interference on it. I mentioned a little bit earlier that Redlands not doing a good job of defending the pass so far this year, but Loyola hasn't exploited that yet tonight. There they call a timeout. A little confusion there on offense for the Cubs.
Dennis came to the line, didn't see something he liked. Elected to call a timeout. Kirk, we were talking a little bit before the game. Considering the dismal season the Terriers had last season, no one expected them to be here. The pressure's not on them this ball game, is it?
No, not at all. Loyola thinking they're destined to win a championship one of these years. They're hoping it's this year. They've been in the playoffs a lot of times during the 80s. 6 Delray League crowns, semifinals last year. They have a long tradition. Like you said, Redlands coming out of nowhere this year from dead last up to runner-up in the playoffs, quarterfinals. They're just happy to be here in Loyola. They're carrying that monkey on their back that they haven't won that championship. They really want it.
This could be the year for them. They're playing very well. They have a lot of momentum going into this playoff competition. They've been steamrolling over opponents. The offense has been scoring points. The defense has been not yielding any. That's the combination you need. So it's 2nd and 8. McAlpin in the eye, Costin in motion. Dennis back to pass, looking for Costin. He's got him. Nice hands by the big receiver.
Nice grab there by Costin. Good job of coverage though by Travis Martinez. Was right on top of Costin. Didn't let him get much after he got that ball.
Costin is one of Dennis's favorite target.
There you can see the replay. Dennis doing a good job of rolling out.
Costin, who was in motion, just went up and out towards the sidelines. So it'll bring up 3rd and 3. McDonald and McAlpin in the backfield. Handoff to McAlpin, looking for that first down. He's got it. Past the 40. Keogh McAlpin.
Loyola, they feel they can do that against anybody when it comes down to short yardage situations. They think they can always get that first down behind that big offensive line that averages 230 pounds across.
Well, behind that offensive line, the Cubs rushed for 83 yards in the first quarter. They're right on track. That's what they love to do.
That's how they've been successful all year. Formula that's worked year after year for the Cubs.
That's right. 1st and 10 for Loyola. Ball outside the 40-yard line. Dennis spins, inside handoff to McDonald. His first carry, struggling for about 6. Scott McDonald.
All of the Cub runners seem like they're very determined, none of them being pushed back on any of their carries. Here you get a look at big Justin Yarrow, all-state tackle, all Delray League, and well on his way to achieving many more honors this season.
Yarrow gets most of the credit, but the other Cub offensive linemen are fine ball players also. 2nd and 3. Backs are split. Handoff to Delamico. He has another Loyola first down.
He was hit once at about the line of scrimmage, didn't go down, and it was Carlo Granillo who finally brought him down after a gain. Delamico, he and McAlpin pretty much sharing most of the load on the ball carrying duties for the Cubs.
Delamico, a senior, 5'11", 194 pounds. But it's really compressed. There's a lot of strength and power.
Well, he's a great all-around athlete. Plays defense just as well or better than he does offense.
He's in the backfield with McAlpin behind Dennis. McAlpin with the handoff. Cubs keeping the ball on the ground, grinding it out. They love to do that. Ball at the 46-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Well, Loyola would be content to do this all night. Just get behind their big linemen. Not many chances of mistakes when you run that football, and proving to work well for them so far.
Yeboah and Jenkins in the ball game.
But like we said, the Terriers have a knack of causing those turnovers. Let's see what happens here.
Yeboah, Delamico, and McAlpin. Inside handoff to Yeboah, I'm sorry. Close to a first down. Yeboah, big run. They're very deep at that tailback position.
Well, Yeboah is hot coming into these playoffs. Had a great last couple of regular season games. Here you can see him.
He's only a junior.
They're very high on him, Mark. They have high expectations for him next year. He'll probably be in that starting backfield for the Cubs. He's done very well, though, here as a junior. Measuring to see if
Yeboah had enough for the first down. He looks just inches short.
It'll be 2nd down and look like about 6 inches for a first down. Make that 3rd down and inches for the Cubs.
3rd and inches in a 2-play situation for the Cubs. On the short side of the field to the right. Delamico and McAlpin behind Dennis. Costin right. Dennis will keep it. He's got the first down behind that huge offensive line. That surge got him the first down.
Well, like we said, Loyola, they'll be content just to grind out these yards. The more they have that football, the more tired out that defense gets, and they feel that during the later stages of the game, that's when they really take command. They have a lot of players who are very well conditioned. They're hoping that will work for them tonight.
8:45 remaining in the first half. 7-0 Loyola. Dennis at quarterback, hands off to McAlpin. He's keeping it, I'm sorry. Dennis scrambling, nice play action fake on that. Fooled me. Didn't fool the Terrier defense too much though.
No, it looked like they were pretty much on to what was happening. Dennis doing a very good job of running the football though, has quick hands, and like we saw in the first quarter, had that 40-yard touchdown run, the only point so far in this game. It'll be 2nd down. He picked up 4 on that carry.
Brian Dennis engineering another Cub offensive drive. Play action to McAlpin. Dennis looking, throws short, incomplete.
That was Stephen Love that he was trying to hit there over the middle. Little side note about Dennis, there you get a good look at him. Cubs are 14-1 in games that Dennis has started last year and this year. He missed quite a few games last year though because of an injury, and this year he's been full head of steam the whole way.
He's a fine leader, doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes, won't throw the bad interceptions. So 3rd and 6. Big play here for the Cub offense. Delamico and McAlpin back. Play action, Dennis throws. McAlpin's got it. He's got the first down and more. Keo McAlpin looking for the end zone. He's nudged out of bounds.
Great job of setting up that screenplay for McAlpin. Dennis keeping that ball just the right amount of time before he delivered it to Keo. And Keo, that is, did the rest with some fancy footwork down the sideline. Here you can see Dennis play action to Delamico, then finally going out to McAlpin. Nice job of blocking there by the Cubs. Set McAlpin free. The one man to beat was Marcus Rogers, and He did a good job of knocking McAlpin out of bounds.
Dennis had to get that over Colin Nance. The defensive end almost got his hand on it. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. The Cubs. Delamico leaping short of the end zone. He stopped at about the 2-yard line. Big play for Loyola on that McAlpin screen.
Good job there down by the goal, though, by the Terriers, not letting Delamico cross that goal line. They're going to need a couple more big plays, though, if they want to keep this big blue machine away.
Not a whole lot of people have been successful at doing that this year, though. 2nd and goal. McAlpin deep in the eye. Delamico, the fullback. The give is to McAlpin. A little trouble with the ball. Nosing towards the end zone.
Looks very close. I guess he didn't get in. We don't see a signal. McAlpin inches short of the goal line.
Jimmy Muniz right there on the stop, bringing up 3rd and goal from the 1.
These are difficult situations for the Terriers, being a smaller group, having to really just go head up against this Loyola team. See what kind of hard-nosed effort they can pull out here.
Yarrow's lined up right. They may like to run behind him. They go right. McAlpin up and over. Touchdown, Loyola.
Well, you called it there, Mark. Yarrow set up on that right side. McAlpin leaped right over him. Yarrow isn't all Delray League for nothing. Loyola up 13-0, and they seem to be cruising here late in the 2nd quarter.
That touchdown, a 73-yard drive. The key for the Cubs on that one, they were 4 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions. That'll get it done. Harmon looking to add it on. And he does. So the Cubs doing what they've done best all season, running the ball, getting out to an early lead. We have 6:20 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Loyola 14, Redlands nothing.
Well, you know, Mark, something funny about Loyola, a lot of people thought they were in a weak league this year. Their assistant coach Dawson, here you can see a replay of the touchdown. McAlpin get the handoff and go right over Justin Yarrow and the right side of that Loyola offensive line, doing what they do best. Like I was saying, though, Coach Dawson of Loyola thought that, even he said he thought they were in a weak league, the Delray League, not as powerful as it usually is, but doesn't seem to have hampered the Cubs. They're up 14-0, and here we go.
Once again, Rogers and Collins deep. That'll be Rogers. He'll bring it out at the goal line, up to the 20, and that's all. Marcus Rogers.
Well, so far in this ball game, Loyola, 146 yards on the ground. That's a stat the coaches, I'm sure, are smiling at this point.
And on the Redlands sideline, they're not smiling. They can't be too happy. They're letting Loyola really play their kind of game.
Loyola's dictated the speed of this game so far.
Barola, the quarterback, on a handoff, stopped cold. There's that Wolfpack defense.
3 or 4 Cub defenders in on that tackle.
John Lindsay, the nose guard, was the first one on the scene. Jim Howard was on the carry. You'll see a lot of people. No, I'm sorry. That was Mike Dragna, star for them last year. You'll see a lot of guys carry the ball for Redlands tonight. There's a motion penalty, I think.
Dead ball foul. False start. Offense.
Well, that'll push back the Terrier cause 5 yards. A little bit of motion there on the offensive line.
The wing T offense is predominantly a running offense. You need a lot of depth at your tailback and your fullback positions to have any sort of success with it. Barola play action, rolling out, looking to throw deep into double coverage. Was that picked off?
McAlpin has the football. Whether or not he was in bounds, we can't tell.
The ref is signaling. He's looking for help. No, he signals. No, interception. McAlpin must have been out of bounds.
McAlpin did a great job of covering that. Whether or not it was an interception doesn't really matter, because McAlpin did his first job in not letting the Terrier receiver get that ball.
Not a real intelligent throw by Barola, throwing into double coverage. The Cub defense wasn't fooled by the play action roll. They had two guys deep, but Barola elected to throw the ball anyways.
Well, Loyola, that defense sound at all aspects. McAlpin and Corby Smith in that defensive backfield do as well a job as anybody at covering the pass.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and 15 situation. Barola on a play action again, looking for his man. Overthrows, out of bounds.
Lonsford, that was his intended receiver. And I think Barola hurried that ball a little bit. A little intimidated by the Wolfpack rush.
Possible flag on the play.
Personal foul, White, okay?
In fact, a personal foul against the Terriers.
That'll really put them back closer to their own goal line, a dangerous spot when you're going to have to punt that football. Always the possibility of a block. Here we're having a little conference by the referees. Get a good look at Coach Grady. Stoppage of play here.
5:08 remaining.
We have personal foul, offense, decline, it'd be 4th down.
So they got that sorted out.
Well, Loyola electing to take the loss of downs on the incomplete pass instead of the yardage that would be asserted against the Terriers. Now they'll be forced to punt that football. 4th and 15. McAlpin and Smith are back again for the Cubs. Fair catch signaled by Smith. Cubs will take over on the Terrier 47.
5:02 remaining in the first half. The Cub defense doing the job so far, shutting out Redlands. Redlands has 4 possessions. They've punted 4 times. They haven't really moved the ball. They had that one big run by their captain. They only have 39 yards total offense so far. Fine job by the Wolfpack defense.
Considering what a highly touted offense this is, Loyola doing a remarkable job of shutting it down so far.
Dennis still the quarterback. McAlpin and Delamico split behind him. That's Delamico on the carry.
Delamico running straight ahead. John Allen finally bringing him down for the Terriers. Redlands can't really let Loyola get on that board again if they want to stay close in this ball game. Already down 14 points. Wouldn't want to make it any more.
2nd and 6. The Cub offense looking to put some more points on the board. Backs are split behind Dennis. Play action, he'll give to Yaboa. Yaboa looking for that 1st down marker. Just short.
Sean Collins brought him down. Maybe a yard and a half short of that 1st down.
Well, Yaboa's really built like McAlpin, isn't he?
Very similar in styles also. Small but quick, compact.
But very strong.
Absolutely. All the Loyola players are in very good physical endurance-wise shape.
3rd and 1. McAlpin looking for that 1st down. I don't know if he's got it.
He was met at the line. Looked like he may have spun loose, though, for a little extra.
We'll wait for the spot. Looks short. It is short. Inches, bringing up 4th.
Well, here's another one of those spots where if you're Coach Grady, you've got that big offensive line, 4th down.
Well, if you can't make a yard behind that huge offensive line anchored by Yarrow, also Steven Nunez, David Vita, the center, Mike Susank, David Susank. These are fine blockers. They should be able to pick up a yard behind those giant blockers.
Well, we'll see what Coach Grady wants to do here. I've got to side with you, Mark. I think, or you see, you on TV didn't see it, but the ref was giving his indication of how far for a 1st, about 1.5 feet. We'll see what the Cubs are going to do. Big decision here with 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Cubs already winning 14-0, and wanting to sustain this drive, they need a couple of inches for a first down.
So they'll go for it, 4th and 1. Nope, timeout. They want to think this one over. They're up 14-0.
Well, they don't want to be hasty here. If anyone's not sure what's going on, it's better to call a timeout and regroup than make a mistake, and that's what the Cubs just did. You can see Sean Costin, wide receiver for the Cubs, talking it over with Coach Grady, making sure that they're on the same wavelength as well as what the Cubs want to do.
Wasn't quite sure there whether Coach Grady liked that play call. He seemed to be having a discussion with his offensive coordinators on the sideline.
There you get a look at the Terrier defense, a tired bunch. They've been on the field a lot in this first half. They're going to have to suck it up here if they want to stop this big blue wrecking crew called the Loyola Cubs.
So we have a timeout, 14-0, 3:16 left in the second quarter. Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you're having a safe weekend, a happy holiday.
Nice night out here in Glendale. A little cool, but beautiful for football.
CIF playoff football, quarterfinal round. The Cubs and the Terriers, 4th and 1. McAlpin, Delamico. That's McAlpin diving forward. He's got the first and more. Keogh McAlpin all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
How many times this year have we seen McAlpin pick up the big play for the Cubs behind that offensive line? We were just saying, if you can't get a first down behind that line, there aren't many you can. McAlpin, first down and plenty more with a big run here for Loyola.
The ball rests just outside the 20. There's McAlpin. Big 3rd, 4th down run there. Back to live action, 1st and 10. There's Keogh again on the carry. Behind Delamico's blocks. Up to about the 10-yard line.
Another good job there by McAlpin. He's having a field day so far tonight.
So are the rest of the Cub offensive players. 14-0, 2:30 and running.
That offensive line obviously taking its toll on the smaller defense. Running at will here. Already 14-point lead for the Cubs. They're looking for more.
Backs are split behind Dennis. There's the handoff to McAlpin. Short of the goal line.
Looks like he got to about the 6. He's been the workhorse on this drive for the Cubs.
He's been the workhorse all season. Has very close to 1,000 yards coming into this ball game. Had 960.
Well, I'm sure he's well over the 1,000-yard mark now. He had over 50 yards in the first in his first 5 carries, so he went over the 1,000 mark with that.
So that was a first down for the Cubs. Ball outside the 6. That was their 8th first down of the first half. Looking to add it on. Motion by Costin. Dennis on a counter, giving it Delamico. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Loyola.
Loyola making it 20-0 now against these Terriers. There you see Dennis celebrating with the rest of the Loyola team. Kevin Delamico adding a touchdown to his statistics. The Cubs looking very sharp.
That was a 48-yard drive. The Cubs taking care of business here in the first half. No messing around. Last week they came out a little ragged. Not this week. Harmon adds on the extra point. So we have 1:33 remaining in the first half. Quarterfinals of the CIF playoffs. Loyola Cubs 21. The Redlands Terriers 0.
Redlands have to be disappointed. Being blown out here in the second quarter. Not an insurmountable lead by any means, though. Here's the touchdown. Delamico going through that left side.
He followed Steven Nunya, who pulled through a nice block. Nunya and rest of the Cub offensive linemen doing a great job in the first half. In fact, the entire Loyola squad doing an excellent job. They're up 21-0. Looking to put this one away early.
Sean Collins and Marcus Rogers again back deep for the Terriers.
Rogers will take the kick. 7-yard line. Looking for a block. Can't find one. These Cubs are fired up.
Rogers was met pretty hard there on the 20-yard line by the Cubs. And that seems to have been the spot where the Terriers have started all of their drives tonight. 20-yard line once again.
You're not going to have a lot of 80-yard drives on this Wolfpack defense. Field position is a key. They haven't had any of it so far. Barola, play action, looking, almost picked off. Kyle Lewis in and out of his hands.
Dangerous pass here near the end of the first half. If nothing else, you don't want to let Loyola get that football again and add anything more. There's only a minute and 11 seconds left in this half.
As we were talking about the field position,
you can see here that the average starting point for the Terriers is their own 19-yard line, so they've had no good field position.
Handoff on the inside. Mike Dragna again. Not having the success he had last week. And again, he wasn't running against the Cub defense, was he?
Absolutely not. It's a completely different story against this bunch. They don't give up a whole heck of a lot of points.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6. As you see, about 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Once again, 21-0 Loyola. Barola, play action, looking down the field. He's got a man open.
Looked like a nice grab there.
It's a catch and a first down.
That was Chad Golub on the reception, a diving catch. Brought that one in. Barola left it a little bit short, but Golub did a nice job of hauling that one in.
That was the first 3rd down conversion for the Terriers. They were 0-4 before that play. They'll go to a hurry up. Barola inside handoff. About 8 yards picked up.
That was Brian Kanya. Haven't called his number much tonight. On that play, he had a nice run.
So Kanya, with time stopped with 14 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Timeout by Redlands.
Well, a couple of big plays here, and they could score before halftime.
They need to do something, Kirk. They've got to get momentum back on their side. They're in danger of being buried here by the Loyola defense.
Loyola not giving much so far. And just a carryover from last week, they only gave up 7 points against Lakewood, proving they could do it against any type of opponent this week. A quicker group, the Terriers. Last week they met a big group in the Lakewood Lancers. They're taking all comers.
2nd and 4 now.
2nd and 4, 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Ball at the 46-yard line. Barola on the play action again, being pressured. He'll go down.
That was Steven Rodriguez on the big sack for Loyola. Clock running out here in the first half.
And that'll be the final play of this first half. The first half that Loyola's dominated.
Well, ending it on a high note there for Loyola. They started it off with a bang on that touchdown by Dennis, ended on a big sack by Rodriguez.
So we're at halftime. CIF quarterfinals, 21-0 Loyola. This game is being brought to you by Eck Insurance Agency, representing the Travelers Companies. For all your insurance needs, contact Jim McCannany, 837-8577. And also by John T. Malloy Incorporated, a general engineering contractor. Give them a call at 464-2705.
You gotta think big. Think about it before you turn the key. Think before you sit in the driver's please.
Making ends meet hasn't been easy with 3 of us at home. Jobs are pretty scarce around here, especially since neither my husband or me finished school. Things are going to be different for this one. He's going to stay in high school if I have to tie him to his chair. Sometimes I wish someone had done me that way.
And the second half kickoff is underway. There's Delamico at his own 3, looking for some running room. The Cubs will start the first possession of the second half, about the 22-yard line.
Big first half for the Cub running game, 192 total yards for the rushing attack. McAlpin, 93 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. Delamico, 28 yards on 7 carries and a TD. And big story, Brian Dennis, 3 carries for 46 yards. The majority of those coming on a 40-yard scamper in the first quarter that he scored a touchdown on. Loyola 21-0.
To put it simply, Loyola dominated that first half. That's McAlpin on a counter. He's got some running room. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30. They won't catch him. Touchdown, Loyola.
Outstanding run. That's going to be a backbreaker here to start the second half. 78-yard TD for McAlpin. That puts him way over 100 for the ball game. Now he's on his way towards 200 yards. And Loyola starting right where they left off.
Keo McAlpin, oh my, what a run to start this third quarter of play.
That really put a jolt into the crowd, just settling back into their seats here for the second half. And Loyola's on the board already, 27-0, looking to make it 28. McAlpin.
There's Harmon's extra point attempt, and it's good. And just like that, we hope you got your sandwich and back in your seat in time, otherwise you missed a great run.
Great run by McAlpin, outrunning everybody on the Terrier team. There you can see Loyola, 28-0 here in the second half. Redlands in a giant-sized hole now against this unbelievable, vaunted Wolfpack defense. 28 points. A lot of points to make up against anyone, but especially this team, Loyola.
McAlpin showed once he's in the open field, boy, there's not a whole lot of guys who can catch him, not on this field anyways.
He was like a lightning bolt out of that backfield. No one got near him.
So the Cubs scoring on their first possession, putting the Terriers deep in a hole. 28-0 Loyola. We're in the CIF quarterfinals.
Stonehouse with the boot there.
Sean Collins receives the kick, looking for running room. Just tripped up at the 35. There's a late flag. Some tempers flaring at about midfield. There's a flag on the play.
Well, the Terriers aren't going to take this sitting down. They're a proud team. Only 2 losses this season. Let's see what the ref has to say. It's like a clip.
On the return.
And that'll be 15 yards against the Terriers, nullifying a pretty good run here for the kickoff return by Collins.
Clip on the return. Be 1st and 10. Okay.
So the Terriers in a hole to start this third quarter. They're going to have to make up 28 points on this Wolfpack defense. Won't be an easy job.
1-yard line, 1st and 10 now for the Terriers.
So Barola brings them out. 2 out of 7 for 21 yards. Rogers on a carry, he's got a first down. Out past the 35-yard line.
Rogers, he's the big guy as far as running goes for the Terriers. 976 yards coming into this one, averaging 8.5 yards a carry. Haven't called his number much tonight, but looked pretty good on that carry.
He's only had 2 yards on 3 carries. They've stuffed him. Motion. There's the handoff. Brian Kanya on the carry.
If nothing else, the Terriers need a quick score like Loyola got out of McAlpin on that 78-yard burst to start the second half. Another thing, Loyola, at the beginning of the game, deciding they won that toss, they decided to kick off instead of receive. Proved to be a big factor here in the second half, scoring on their first possession.
2nd and 7 for Barola. There's a motion, play action, dropping back to pass. He's got his man open. Dragna has a first down, but that's all.
Finally brought down by Corby Smith of the Cubs. A rare first down for the Terriers.
Tonight, the Wolfpack defense is very stingy, not allowing the Terriers to move that football too well. Then again, the Wolfpack defense has stuffed many teams this season, so this is nothing new for them.
Well, they have 2 shutouts this year, and they're only allowing about 8 points a game. Nothing new.
9:55 and running in the third quarter. 28-0 Loyola. There's a handoff. Dragna close to a first down.
Dragna breaking through tacklers on that run. Looked like more of what we thought we'd see from the Redland Terriers.
Dragna's just a junior, so he'll have plenty of seasons left. One more season, actually. Plenty of ball games left.
There you go.
Time's running out in this one for him and his Terriers. They're down 28-0 though in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Barola play action. He's got his man. Dropped.
That was Kanya on the intended reception.
Barola hit Kanya right in his hands. Couldn't hang on to it. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And I think we're going to see more passing here in the second half from the Terriers.
Well, the Terriers are going to have to open it up, Kirk. They're going to have to kind of go away from their basic strategy. But there's a handoff up the middle. Dragna, you'd figure trailing by 28 points, they try to open it up and start throwing the football. And that wing T offense, they run it, but they've stayed on the ground so far.
Well, they've got a long, tough test ahead of them the rest of this game. See if they can cut into this lead. They've really got to take it one step at a time. They haven't even scored yet tonight, so just getting some points would be a big builder for them.
There's Rogers on a handoff. They stay on the ground, not throwing the ball on 3rd and long. They're very close to the first down. In fact, they probably picked it up. That was Marcus Rogers on the big carry.
And that's what you really expect to see from that wing T. A lot of angle blocks there. Terriers looking more like the team we thought we'd see on this drive in particular.
So they could bring out the chains to measure. They threw a change at that Loyola defense, 3rd and 9. The Wolfpack probably expected a pass. It is a first down. But with all that counter, all that motion, Rogers busted up for 9 and a first down.
Now we'll just have to see what happens here. The Terriers mounting a drive. If they can get on this board, cut it to 21 points, it would give them at least a little bit of hope. Right now looking grim for the Terriers of Redlands.
That was their 3rd first down on this drive. They only had 2 in the first half. 8:40 and running. There's some more motion. Dragna fumbles the football. Who's got it?
Flag went down as well on that play. Let's see what the ref has to say.
Terriers have the ball, but also a holding call against them. So they'll keep the ball, but they'll be moving back.
Penalty marker on the play.
Well, the Terriers didn't have any turnovers last week against Mater Dei.
We have offensive holding. Still first down and 10.
Time for a turnover or a penalty. They're finally sustaining a drive, the first one of the ball game. They're in Cub territory. No time for mistakes.
Absolutely not. They've got to really get down to business here if they want to have any chance.
Barola on a handoff to Rogers. Once again, a lot of yardage for Rogers. Picking up that yards they lost on the penalty.
Terriers maybe found a weakness here in the second half. They've been running that ball on the right side. gaining a lot of yardage on this particular drive. Here you can see the replay. Rogers strong on that right side, and let's see what the Terriers do here, if they're going to try to exploit that even more.
So it's second and about 6 yards. This Wolfpack defense being marched upon. Second and 6 once again. Ball at about the 26-yard line. Barola brings them out.
Still plenty of time in this ball game.
Penalty flags as Dragna had a hole up the middle.
Flags aplenty on that play.
Well, head ref must have threw his flag about 40 feet in the air. He really has a call. And another penalty against the Terriers.
It's the second penalty in 3 plays for the Terriers.
Their 5th overall.
Not normally a trademark of this team, making mistakes.
Now they're a well-coached, a well-disciplined team. Mike Churchill's done a great job this year, bringing them from nowhere last year into a quarterfinal berth. There's Rogers in motion. He'll take the handoff. Once again over that right side. Short of the first down, bringing up 3rd down. So at halftime, it looks like the Terriers went into the locker room, made some adjustments. That's right, there's another big ball game coming up tomorrow. Miami, Notre Dame. Not as exciting as this one so far, though.
Whole different level. College and high school, 2 different stories.
Barola fakes it to Rogers. A lot of pressure. He'll go down. Wolfpack defense.
That was Andrew Doran who finally brought him to his knees. He was being swarmed by a sea of blue jerseys, and
that was the Cubs' 2nd sack of the day.
Here you can see lots of pressure by the outside, pushing him into Doran. And finally a pile up there for the Cubs, and they look like they sucked it up a little bit. Terriers were driving until that play.
So that sack will bring up 4th and 12 for the Terriers. Here's a play if they want to stay in the ball game. They've got to make something happen. 4th and 12. Barola back to pass. Looking, he's got a man open, and he drops it.
Oh my. Wide open was Chad Golob. Ball was perfectly thrown right into his hands, but he couldn't hold on to it. Maybe a little weary of a would-be Cub tackler. They've been using some jolts tonight. Here you can see it right into his hands, and oh, that's a tough one to take for the Terriers.
Still, Golob would have been about 4 yards short of the first down. He was straddling that sideline. The play falls incomplete. That's where the Cubs will take over. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. 6:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 28-0 Loyola. There's McAlpin on the carry up the middle.
Looked like he gained about 5 or 6 on that carry, did McAlpin. Had that 78-yard touchdown romp to open the second half of play. Here you get a look at athletic director and defensive coordinator for the Cubs, John Dawson, leaning over the tower there.
They're positioned high above the sidelines here at Glendale High. Get a better look, see at their defense. They've seen a lot that they've liked tonight. 2nd and 3. Delamico and McAlpin back there. There's Delamico looking for that first down. He's got it. Ball all the way out to the 48-yard line. First down, Loyola.
Tremendous job of running by Delamico. Looked like he was hit once, almost had the ball stripped loose, kept his feet, and gained a lot of yards to boot. You can see here Delamico right there, almost having it ripped away, and good job of just holding on as well as gaining quite a big sum of yardage.
Delamico kept those legs churning, picking up some yardage there. It's a first down. Loyola just outside of midfield. Yaboa replaces Delamico in the backfield with McAlpin. There's a counter. Keogh, this time they stop him. some extracurricular activity downfield. Ref breaks it up though.
Apparently that ball was ruled down as Marcus Rogers picked it up, hoping that it was a fumble by McAlpin, but play had already been whistled dead.
Just across midfield.
So McAlpin picked up about 2 yards on that, bringing up 2nd and 8. Boy, that last possession certainly a emotional crusher for the Redlands Terriers. They had a nice drive going, but it was stalled. They can't get on that board. It's 28-0. Loyola. They're at 2nd and 8, right at midfield. McAlpin on the handoff, sweep right. Nowhere to go on that play.
That was Muniz coming up with the tackle there on McAlpin in the open field. Good job. Similar play to the other side of the line. McAlpin had that romp, 78 yards a while back here in the 3rd quarter. Nothing doing on that play though.
So the Terriers stop McAlpin on that play, bringing up 3rd and 8.
Well, we're seeing a very determined Loyola football team here so far tonight.
Yeboah and McAlpin. In motion goes Love. Dennis under center. Fake handoff. He's got some running room, looking to make something happen. Near the 1st down, maybe short of it. Brian Dennis on the keeper.
Dennis, who had a touchdown run in the 1st half. Keeping that ball once again close to a 1st down. We'll have to see where the referee marks it.
We were talking earlier about the depth the Terriers are required to have at that wing T offense. 5 different Cubs have touched the ball tonight.
That's right. There you get a good look at Corby Smith, one of the defensive stars for the Cubs, as well as the backup quarterback.
Smith playing a fine game defensively tonight, as usual. So are the rest of the Cubs. 2:50 and running, 4th and 2. The Cubs will go for it, but there's a flag on the play. The back judge heaved that yellow flag.
Looked like it was too much time, I think.
First penalty on the Cubs tonight. It's like they were just trying to draw the Terriers offside, trying to pick up those 5 yards the easy way. Redlands wouldn't jump. So now the punting team for the Cubs comes into the ball game.
Not really a costly penalty though. Gives the punter a little more room to work with down near that end zone for the Loyola Cubs.
So on 4th and 8, Stonehouse, John Stonehouse will kick it away. This is his first punt. High kick, a short one though. Ball bouncing. It takes a great Terrier bounce.
There's another flag though, the referee.
The ball took a bounce all the way out to the 36-yard line. But let's see what the flag is.
On 34 white.
34 white.
Possible holding against the Terriers.
I think that's what it's going to be. One of the Cubs pointing toward the Terrier side. Let's see. The official's word is gold, however, on this. Little conference out there on the field by the ref.
Yours. We have a loose ball foul, clipping.
And
Captain,
it's a clip going against the Terriers, loose ball.
Will that bring a first down for Loyola? No, because it was on the punt. Let's see what the refs are doing. There's some confusion on the Loyola squad. Here comes the offense back onto the field.
Looks like we have Loyola football. Brian Dennis trotting out there to steer the ship for the Cubs.
The punt was on a 4th and 8 play. Here's the call. Once again, a clip. That's right. First down, Loyola. Another costly penalty on the Terriers.
They've had abundance of penalties here in the 3rd quarter. Already down 28-0. Obviously not going to help their cause at all.
So the Terriers, nothing going their way so far. It's 2:35 and running in the 3rd quarter, 28-0 Loyola. Terriers looking for some sort of break. We have McDonald and Yeboah in the backfield behind Dennis. Delamico and McAlpin on the sidelines this series. Dennis calling signals. Jenkins wide right. The handoff is into McDonald. Over left side.
The 30-yard line.
Near the 30.
Over there on the stop.
McDonald picked up a couple on that play, nothing big. Loyola sticking with that ground attack, and why shouldn't they? It's been successful for them all year.
David Vita, the starting center, has come off the field for Loyola. He may have a problem with his equipment. David Buther into the ball game to replace him.
28-0 Loyola, driving again. They're in Terrier territory.
Once again, McDonald and Yeboah in the backfield behind Dennis. Ball's on the left hash mark. McDonald, not a whole lot of running room. Dennis on the spin, gives it to McDonald.
McDonald was brought down by John Allen for the Terriers. Nice tackle.
That'll be 3rd and 6. 3rd and 4. Well, if the Cubs put some more points on the board with this possession, we got a runaway on our hands.
Well, minute left in the 3rd quarter. If the Cubs put some more points on the board, they'll be 1 quarter away from the semifinals in the CIF.
So 3rd and 4, Dennis gives it to Yeboah, looking for the first down. He has it.
Yeboah got the first down and more on that carry.
Alex Yeboah, the junior, getting a lot of playoff experience.
Well, Loyola brought up 12 sophomores from the sophomore team for these playoffs, just to give them a little taste of what it's like, the atmosphere. They breed winning from freshmen all the way through seniors. Their sophomore team having a great season as well as the varsity. Sophomore record this year was 8-0-1, averaging 35 points and their opponent 8, much like the seniors.
1st and 10. Ball at the 24, that's Yeboah. He's at the 15, he's into the end zone. Touchdown Loyola, Alex Yeboah.
Yeboah just getting in on the action like everybody else in that Cub backfield has tonight. They've really spread the wealth around. What can you say? Loyola 34-0.
Well, we talked about earlier that the key for Redlands would be trying to stop the great Loyola ground game. They haven't come close to doing that. Loyola has 322 yards rushing so far in this ball game.
That was the 4th different Cub. Little trouble there on the extra point. Fumbled snap, and Cubs couldn't get it off. It'll be no good. No extra points, so it'll stand at 34-0. The Cubs having 4 guys who have scored touchdowns tonight. McAlpin has 2. Delamico's got 1. Yeboah has a touchdown, and so does Brian Dennis. It all adds up to 34-0. It's a rout.
That drive, 68 yards, all on the ground.
Here you can see the replay. Yeboah wanting to get a taste of the action himself. Does a great job of following those blocks.
Nice downfield blocking by Patrick Gilhooly. Patrick Gilhooly, the tight end, downfield, making a block, staying with his block.
You know something else about Gilhooly, he's a 4.0 student and the student body president over at Loyola. Fine representation of the school.
So that touchdown resulted in a penalty on the Terriers. Rogers will take the kickoff as his own 2. Looking for that wedge. He's up about the 20-yard line.
Great job of coverage on the kickoff by Scott McDonald, racing down there to take care of Rogers. Terriers will start deep in their own territory again. Rogers having a little trouble getting up. Seems to be okay though.
So with time running out here in the 3rd quarter,
That's the end of the.
well, that's the end right there. Redlands won't get a play off. The Terriers being dominated here. Quarterfinals of the CIF playoffs, the Loyola Cubs 34, Redlands 0.
Loyola has to be pleased. You know, they had 3 common opponents this year with the Terriers. Both teams each beat the common opponents, and from the looks of it early, or should I say before the game, we thought this would be a close one, but it hasn't so far. The Cubs looking ahead next week, if they can hold on to this humongous lead, they'd play the winner of the San Gorgonio and Long Beach Poly game. Long Beach Poly ranked number 2 in the entire CIF. Cubs will be awaiting that final score to see who they play next week.
Handoff.
That was Reese with the carry, picking up about 4 or 5 there for the Terriers.
So we're into the 4th quarter. Final play of the, final quarter of the half. This quarterfinal, the CIF playoffs. 2nd and 6. Barola on the bootleg. Nice move over the 30. He's hit hard at the 32. Sean Cardenas comes up with the ball.
Big hit by Cardenas, the junior defensive back, coming out of that backfield for the Cubs to put a big hurting on Barola. Barola having a rough night tonight.
Well, many quarterbacks have had rough nights against this Wolfpack defense. They're shutting out the Terriers 34-0. That was a first down scamper by Barola. Ball at the 32-yard line. It's a reverse on the inside handoff.
That was Kanya with the ball carry. Didn't really fool the Cubs.
We thought we'd see a whole lot more of that this ball game. A lot of maybe reverses, misdirections.
Well, Kanya, coming into the game at 544 yards, was averaging 8 yards a carry. Just hasn't worked as it did all season for the Terriers.
Crush, kill, devour. Cubs have done all 3 tonight.
Looks like the fan devoured that sign.
They're having fun. It's an inside handoff. There's the team captain. Another big run all the way down to the 25-yard line. Yesnik. Another big run.
Well, the kid who we thought wouldn't play tonight was questionable, having arthroscopic knee surgery recently, but apparently he toughed it out and suited up tonight.
So Yesnik with 2 carries, resulting in 2 big gains. There he is up the middle, showing some nice speed when he gets into the secondary. Corby Smith hog-tied him.
Corby Smith.
Back to live action. Reese.
Oh,
nowhere to go left.
That was Andrew Kasani there, coming in and making a nice tackle. I was talking about the play before. Corby Smith did a great job of coming from behind to get Yesnik.
So we're under 10 minutes in the 4th quarter. The Terriers mounting a drive. 2nd and 10. Ball rests at the 25-yard line.
Ball is at the 25-yard line.
Barola with the back split behind him. There's an inside handoff.
That was Yesnik.
So once again, they run the captain up the middle. Nowhere to go that time.
Well, if nothing else for the Terriers, they don't want to become the 3rd shutout victim of the Cubs this season.
There's an official timeout on the field. Play stops at 9:24. 4th quarter, 34-0 Loyola. They've had it easy tonight. Well, at least this week you see the cheerleader on the right. I believe she had a cast last week. Now she's up to a brace. I told you, the closer they get to that championship round, the more flips she'll be doing.
Well, apparently.
3rd and 2, Reese looking to throw the ball. He's got a man open, but it's knocked away. Great coverage on the play.
That was John Cochran knocking the ball away.
Cochran made up a lot of yardage.
Defensive back's delight there, playing that textbook style and deflecting the ball from the intended receiver. Here's the replay. Great job.
So a little, we'll try to change up on the Cubs. 4th and 10. All at the 25-yard line. Barola back to pass, straight drop back, pump fakes. Looking over the middle, knocked away. That's McAlpin again.
3 Cub defenders were onto that. Really not much of an opening for Barola. Tried to force it in there. Didn't have much of a choice on 4th down. Here you can see it.
One of the first dropbacks by Barola tonight. There's McAlpin. He's everywhere, offense and defense.
Delamico and Cardenas were also there on the coverage. Great job of reading the play by Loyola.
You notice wherever the ball is, we seem to call Keogh's name. It's not by coincidence.
He's really admired and respected by his teammates and coaches at Loyola.
So Loyola will take over. 9 minutes even left in the 4th. Dennis is still the quarterback, ball at the 25-yard line. Yaboa on the carry over the right side. Picks up about 6.
Pretty soon here we may see the Cubs second stringers coming in with this big 34-point lead under 9 minutes left in the game.
So once again, the Cubs came out, established themselves early, kept the ball on the ground, a couple of big plays, the Dennis run, the McAlpin run, all results in a 34-0 lead on their way to a victory. 2nd and 4. There's McAlpin, left side. Another big run. McAlpin at the 40, the 30. Will they catch him? I don't think so. Touchdown, Loyola.
This kid's unbelievable. McAlpin, his 3rd touchdown rush of the night, and 2nd big one for Keogh. Big celebration in the Cub end zone.
Nope. Up. There's a flag on the play. Hold everything. Let's see if this party comes back. The ref signaling it will.
That'll be a shame if it has to come back for Loyola. Yep. Clip against the Cubs.
So that clip spoils a big run by Keogh.
That clip was way back in Loyola territory. There's the signal by the referee. What otherwise would have been a great run by McAlpin.
He's an exciting ball player. It seems like anytime he touches the ball, he can make a lot of things happen. He has tonight.
Very dangerous.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, spoiling a big play. Still 34-0 though.
Regardless of whether or not they scored, it's a giant lead for the Cubs. Would have just been a little more icing on that cake.
McAlpin still in the ball game, lined up at the eye. He'll take the handoff up the middle. Bounces outside. There's a fumble on the play.
Big scramble for the football. Terriers have it. So from scoring what looked like a would-be touchdown for Loyola, they cough that ball up and give it back to the Terriers.
Deep in Cub territory. They recovered the football, the Terriers that is, at the 33-yard line.
That's the 2nd fumble of the night for the Cubs. First one, Brian Dennis being blindsided early in the game, but neither one has resulted in anything negative for him.
Barola inside.
That's Kanya with the carry on the reverse going up the middle.
You got to watch how soon you call who's carrying the ball with all this motion, misdirection, counters. Seems like 3 guys touched the ball on one play for the Terriers.
A lot of things going on in that backfield, but the Cubs have been relatively on it tonight.
Barola on an inside handoff. Yesnick, he stopped. Coming up on 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
There you get a look at the Terrier sidelines and their coach Churchill.
Mike Churchill's done a great job once again.
Carried his Riverside Poly team to the finals in '84, got a victory there, but this year looks like it's going to end for him in the quarterfinals, but he's done a magnificent job with this Redlands team.
3rd and 6. Barola back to pass, looking. He's got a man, but it's dropped.
The intended receiver was Chris Lonsford. We said earlier that's Barola's favorite receiver. Looked like it was a good pass there, but Lonsford just couldn't hold on to it.
Lonsford made a nice effort. Had to stretch out to try to get that one.
You can see nice play action by Barola. Laid it right in there about as well as you could throw that ball. McAlpin was in on the coverage. Lonsford just couldn't hold on.
4th and 6. Barola 3 out of 12 for 30 yards. There's a handoff. Reese close to that first down. A 4th and 6 carry. Let's see where they spot it. Michael Reese picks up the first down for Redlands.
Well, Redlands in the second half here, a lot better looking than they did in the first half. Still haven't scored, but they seem to be able to move that football a little bit better here. Loyola maybe not tightening the rope as much as they did in the first half with this big lead.
There's a handoff.
That was Yesnick again on the carry. Not much on that left side.
6 minutes. Second and about 7. The Terriers yet to be on the get on the scoreboard. 34-0. Backs are split. There's a motion, an inside counter.
That was Kanya again on the carry. Once again, not a whole lot of running room.
That'll bring up 3rd down. So the Wolfpack defense pitching a shutout tonight. But the Terriers all rest 19-yard line. There's Reese looking for that first down marker. Won't get there.
You know, Mark, I was talking to defensive coordinator John Dawson earlier this week, and I asked him if he was going to change anything up against this not very common wing T offense. Told me Loyola's been running the same defense for 17 years. They've been pretty successful with it. Didn't think they'd change it tonight.
Why mess with success? They'll take on any kind of offense. They're usually pretty successful against it. So that'll bring up 4th and 3. Reese in motion. Barola will keep it on the scramble. Sacked. Nowhere to go. Wolfpack defense holds again.
2 of the big Cubs were in on that sack. Number 80, Kyle Lewis, was one of them. There you can see a trio of Cubs that were applying pressure.
That was the Wolfpack's 3rd sack of the ball game.
Here's the replay. You can see nobody's fooled on this. Also, the big guy, Steven Rodriguez, laying the major hit on the quarterback, Barola.
So Loyola will take over.
You can see the clapping there on the tower by John Dawson, applauding his defensive unit.
4:08 and running. Dennis will keep it. He's hit hard. That looked like a broken play.
That was Chad Golov who applied most of the hit there. I'm surprised that Brian Dennis is still in the ball game. Really no reason for it. Why risk injury this late with a big lead?
You'd expect to see Corby Smith, the backup junior quarterback, with a 34-0 lead and time running out. Well, here comes Dennis off the field. Riley Hayes will take over. Brian Dennis, once again, engineering a Cub victory. So Riley Hayes, junior, will take over. Handoff up the middle.
Well, earlier this year in a couple Cub blowouts, we saw Corby Smith. Apparently tonight going a different way with Mr. Hayes.
That was Nick Votto on the carry, his first carry of the ball game. 3rd and 3. Here comes that Loyola offensive line. The first stringers off the field. Once again, they did a great job grinding it out. They do what they do best. They did it tonight.
And they didn't beat any slops tonight, this team Terriers.
Bondera, the ball carrier.
Bondera, did he lose that football?
Looked like he held on to it. The Terriers had come into this game with a 6-game winning streak of their own. It's going to end tonight. The Cubs, their win streak will reach 6, though, with this victory tonight. They're well on their way to that semifinal appearance next Friday night.
That'll bring up 4th and 3. Stonehouse will be forced to kick it away. Just over 2 minutes. High kick. Driving Martinez back to his 32-yard line, where he's met at about the 40.
That was Jamie Skandarian on the tackle. Coverage by the Cubs. Terriers will have what may be their last possession of the season.
Well, Kirk, we've seen a number of Loyola ball games this year. My own personal opinion, it seems the only way Loyola will lose this year is if they beat themselves. Turnovers, mistakes. It seems the only way they're going to lose. They're a great coach team. They've got a lot of athletes on this club. They're on a roll. They're going to be a hard team to beat.
Oh, they're on top of their game in every aspect.
Yesnick on an inside carry.
This team, the Loyola team that is, last year they thought they might win it all, had a couple of key injuries late, had a poor performance in the semifinals, ended up losing, but this year they're playing very well at playoff time. Everybody's healthy. They're on a roll.
So we're just over a minute left in this CIF quarterfinals. The Cubs up 34-0. They'll advance to the semifinals with a convincing victory tonight. They dominated from the opening kickoff. Made big plays tonight, played solid defense. Just another Loyola Cub football game.
There you see the clock dwindling down on the Redlands Terriers season. Nothing to be ashamed of, though. Came a long way from last place last year, all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yesnick once again on an inside pop. Big yards for the captain. This young man has a lot of heart. Arthroscopic surgery not more than 4 weeks ago.
There you see McAlpin, one of the stars tonight for Loyola, as he has been all season. Blocked there by Brian Dennis, but McAlpin, a couple of touchdowns.
What can you say about Keogh? Just have to watch that man play. So time running out, 7 seconds remaining. That should be the last play of the ball game. The Cubs will go on to the semifinals. They dominated this playoff game, start to finish. Final score, Loyola Cubs 34, Redlands Terriers nothing. On to the semifinals for Loyola.
Congratulatory handshakes all around.
Steve Grady,
There he is.
midfield, fine coach, leader of this Loyola program. Success is nothing new to him.
There are the players.
Don't waste no time.
So that'll about do it for this game. We'll be right back with a post-game interview. Once again, the final, 34-0. This game is being brought to you by Eck Insurance Agency, representing the Travelers Companies. For all your insurance needs, contact Jim McCannany, 837-8577. And also by John T. Malloy Incorporated, a general engineering contractor. Give them a call at 464-2705.
Hiring a worker with a disability or keeping an employee who develops one can be a challenge, but smart managers find ways. As simple as unstacking file cabinets or changing the telephone, employers can get ideas like this from the Job Accommodation Network, a service of the President's Committee on Employment of People with Disabilities. Dial them. Even the call is free.
We're here with Loyola head coach Steve Grady. And coach, 34-0, we kind of expected a closer game than this.
Well, I did too. I can't believe the outcome of this score. I thought coming in, I thought we'd have to score a lot, and I thought they would score a lot. And it turned out that our defense played a super game, and our offense, you know, I don't think we can play a better half of football, moving the ball on the ground. I think they dominated on the ground and made things happen. Keo was running hard, and Kevin Delamico. And defensively, we shut them down the first half, and you know, when we got the ball, we were able to move it and take some time off the clock. But I never expected 34-0, no.
Coming in, that wing T was, you know, a major factor. We thought that you guys might have some trouble with that. It looked like the defense was ready for it, though. They pretty much stomped it out.
I'll tell you, we had a lot of apprehension with the Delaware wing because we saw it 2 years ago in the second game of the playoffs, ironically, and we got beat by a team that everybody thought we were going to beat that had a kind of a 6-5 record, and we did a poor job of defending that thing. And I thought this team ran it better. I just thought our defense played well. I don't know if we didn't make any really major adjustments. We tried to mix up our calls, but you know, it's a big play offense that we were scared of, and I was scared of up until the end. I mean, you know, they were running little traps that are going for 30 yards, but you have to defend all the other guys going every which way. So it's a complicated offense, and he's done a great job with it. And tonight we just somehow got it together and stopped it. And I have to say a lot to our scout teams, the guys that didn't play, because to try to put that in a week and have your scout teams run it against your #1 defense is not an easy job, and it takes a lot of concentration. And I'm just proud of this whole ball club because the guys that don't play, they're as big a part of this victory as any of the guys on the field.
Is this your best overall team at Loyola?
I've had a lot of good teams. This team is ranks right there among them. What separates, I think, this team is that there's not really a great star. I mean, Keo is emerging as one, but when we started the season, I mean, he does it with guts, determination. He's not the quickest back. He's not the biggest back. But this team, since they were sophomores, have always had a work ethic, and the seniors I'm talking about mainly, and they've blended well with the juniors who came up from last year's undefeated sophomore team, and together they've had a great year, and I think it's due to their work ethic and the fact that, you know, we win as one.
What about next week, San Gorgonio or Long Beach Poly? Any preference to that?
None. We're happy just to be there. You know, semifinals 2 years in a row, and you know, this team is playing. We're playing good right now, and I just hope we can continue this momentum into next week. And I don't care who we play. I think it'll be a great game, and I'm just happy to be in the semis.
Well, that'll about do it for tonight. Final score: Loyola dominating 34-0. For Steve Grady, Kirk Goldstein, I'm Mark Proval. Thank you for joining us.